Hey, Rob G., we had some movement in the NBA, and this is our next topic here we want to get to. And normally, an executive like Pat Riley, team president of the Heat, he's not going to comment on a story that Shams broke for ESPN, that Jimmy Butler prefers to move on and he wants to go the other way, go somewhere else. And normally just ignore it, right? I don't care what Shams is reporting, just ignore it or whatever. But instead, Rob G., Pat Riley put out a statement.
Yeah, Rob, and for you to say we had movement, that would be the wrong word to use to describe what's going on in Miami.
We ain't got no movement.
That's the problem. There's no movement.
Okay.
And you mentioned it, Shams Charania reported, actually a couple of weeks ago, so much so that Jimmy Butler's agent tried to get back at him on Twitter saying
do you remember
his
that?
sources were wrong.
Right.
But what he reported...
And Pat Riley said he was a liar.
Right.
You remember, too, a liar.
What was reported by Shams Charania and ESPN was that Jimmy Butler, because he hasn't got his extension from Miami, he's not going to get his extension. He's open to trade destinations, and he's included the Suns, the Warriors, the Mavs, and the Rockets on his list of teams he would prefer to be traded to. Well, today, you mentioned it, Pat Riley, the Godfather, put out a statement himself addressing the situation.
Pat Riley's got to be 80 years old. I mean, how old is he?
I'll look it up for you.
Right.
But it reads as follows. Quote, "We usually don't comment on rumors, but all this speculation has become a distraction to the team, and it's not fair to the players and the coaches. Therefore, we will make it clear. We are not trading Jimmy Butler, period."
Okay. And Kelvin, you know what I got for you?
What's that?
And for Rob G. and for Pat Riley?
What we getting up? All right, he's standing up. He's got an applause. Giving him a hand clap.
Thank you, Pat Riley. Thank you very much. Thank you for clearing the air and letting people know that you run the organization, not the players. And these guys kill me. Jimmy Butler, you signed a contract. Live up to it. When it's over and you're a free agent, go wherever the hell you want to go. You'll be a free agent. This guy wants to force their hand, right? So that he could go where he wants to go and sign a new contract. Whereas, God forbid, you have to be a free agent, and guess the only teams that got cap room? All the bad teams. You want to go to the Pistons? They got money. You know, they've been much better, but you know what I mean? They got a lot of money. Rob G., the other teams, there are a lot of teams that are bad. They got cap space. So you don't want to do that. But now you're going to, mess up what's going on in Miami, make people feel like you got to get your way. Didn't you sign up for this? And then it's like, oh, Miami's got to do right by Jimmy Butler. Do right? What championship and parade did they have in Miami with Jimmy Butler? They don't owe him anything. They have paid this man.
Paid the man his money. No, that Jimmy, this is my, so I think what I like about some of the ways this can happen, I like when you have a player who has given his all to a team or organization, and then if that player and that team, to me, come together and they both privately go, look, we're trying to move forward. This ain't working. You're trying to move on. Maybe you're older. Maybe it's just not working. And if they amicably say, you know what, it is time to move on, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with, because that happens in business all the time. If someone says, this just ain't working, you agree, I agree, we all gave it our best, let's move on. Everybody hands in on 3. 1, 2, 3, move on. But when guys just try to manipulate the system, when guys just try to, manipulate the fan base against the ownership or against this player or this, that, and the other, or cry and complain when it's everything they ask for, if it's we all want to go to Brooklyn and play together, Harden and KD and Kyrie, then it doesn't work out, and get me out of here, I don't want to be here anymore. See, I had an issue with that. I have no issue with, again, if, let's say, Jimmy did come to Pat Riley and, hey, man, been here 5, 6 years.
This is about his extension. Yeah. He wants his money.
I know he wants more. I'm using the example of, when somebody has run the course and they say, look, man, I've given my all, and you see we're not going anywhere. That's just business. But when you have these players getting everything they want, how they want, when they want it, and then being mad a year later, 6 months later, a year and a half later, hold on, man, you made this bed. You made this Cal King. I'm going to need you to lay up in it for a little bit. You made this bed. Come on in here, enjoy these comforters and these blankets. And that happens a lot nowadays with the modern NBA player where they just all of a sudden, I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to play with him. And they demand it. And to me, it's like, dude, I have no problem with if you movement when it's warranted, but the idea that I'm doing everything and moving any and everything for you, and I'm not getting anything out of this. We're not winning. We didn't win championships.
Right.
We don't have this equity with the town. You know what I mean? If Kobe Bryant, and rumors are he wanted to get traded, almost went to the Pistons, but his wife didn't want to go. Let's say he did. He would have earned that all those years. Fans would be mad, I understand, but he would have earned, hey, man, I've given him all. I'm ready to move on. To me, you don't have equity, a lot of guys who do this. You don't have the tenure, a lot of guys who do this. And in the opposite, I've given you my everything you wanted, the money, the other players, and now it's like, get me out of here, man. This ain't working. I'm not a fan of that.
And that's why I give Pat Riley credit.
Well, Pat
because you remember LeBron wanted Eric Spoelstra fired. Right? He wanted him out there, and Pat Riley didn't buy into that. Mm-hmm. And look how many years later Eric Spoelstra's still there.
And arguably, some people for the best coach in the league.
And they went to the finals twice. They haven't won, but they went to the finals twice.
Nobody hate on Eric Spoelstra. He's one of the best coaches.
And so that's why at some point, if you're in management or ownership, you got to stand up to these guys and tell them no. When you wanted a deal, I gave you the money you wanted. We went out, we made some other trades and moved some people around. And as soon as you're ready, because you're not getting the extension that you want when you want it, now you're throwing in and being a distraction for the whole organization and for everybody else and making our fan base be mad at what's happening. Now, that's not fair.
Yeah. And let me be clear. I have no problem with players putting pressure on organizations if they're not, if let's say – another year or two, Kansas City's being cheap and they don't want to do certain things. And if Patrick Mahomes, who was blood, sweat, and teared them and ringed them and was like, hey, man, I'm waiting on this organization, to
Jimmy
do this,
Butler's
do that.
Not Patrick
That's
Mahomes.
what I'm saying. So I don't, that's why I say I want to be clear. I have no problem if there's certain guys who put in the sweat equity, have the tenure, and have run a town, and have been good to an organization. I have no problem if they start demanding things and putting pressure on them. You could argue that's what Giannis is starting to do a little bit. Put more pressure on the Bucks. Hey, it's not good enough just to say, well, we won one and take that. And, I want to keep competing.
Well, Milwaukee, that's good.
Well, I know, but he's saying I don't want it to be that for the next 7-8 years of my career.
But I'm just saying.
I want to look that's the quiet truth. That's ain't nobody looking. We gonna say that, but
they won a championship and more. Ask the Knicks fans if they take a championship.
Man.
I could go to. There's about 20 cities I'd ask you, would they take a championship? They would.
Oh, no, without a doubt. The Orlando Magic, as we watch it, you got the Heat Magic game going on right now. So yeah, I'm a fan of when you put your all in. Like I said, say in 3 years, Jason Tatum's just like, I want to move on from Boston. Dude, he's put his sweat and tears. Like, I have no problem.
But why? I love, and I know Pat Riley's old school and. People hate the idea he's a 79, 80-year-old guy. Oh, he's just old school and he doesn't want to acquiesce. But you got to run the organization. That's why I gave him a standing ovation. Sometimes you got to make those tough decisions. When LeBron was doing his thing, dude, thank you. Okay, go ahead, move on.
He has since said he should have handled it differently, but that's how he was feeling at the time.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was saying, no, listen, that's how you get an identity. That's how the Miami Heat have a culture and identity. And they talk about it. Shaquille O'Neal talks about it. Dwayne Wade talks about it. They have an identity and a way about things. That's why they're always hard. Any Pat Riley team has been hard-nosed. You go with the Heat when he was coaching them. You go with the New York Knicks, hard-nosed, take no prisoner, kind of the grit and grind, if you will, not to take Memphis Grizzlies, but you get what I mean. That's the culture. Eric Spoelstra was a video man, worked his way up. That's how they are. They Mickey Harrison, the owner, on down to Pat, on down to Eric Spoelstra, and so on and so forth. You have Alonzo Mourning still there. They've kind of created that Heat culture. And he's just not a big fan of somebody coming in here trying to shake that up and change that and tell them what to do.
Right, and on a whim. Like they've done a lot for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and he's been good to them too. Don't get twisted.
But they don't owe him anything else. If he wants to bounce after his deal, bounce. Mm-hmm. But bounce. Nobody's saying you can't go. That's your right as a free agent. But you're not going to hold a gun to the organization's head and blow up their team and their plans for this year because you're ready to go.
Yeah, and I don't. Again, that whole with Shams saying he has it on good record. Obviously, they're saying he's lying. Jimmy Butler kind of being coy about it. Hey, I'm gonna just let all y'all talk. I'm gonna just let the rumors out.
Pat Riley said enough though.
Yeah, he said enough.
He was like,
he let it go from whether it be agents, whether it be Jimmy, whether it be Shams. I need y'all all to shut up. And Jimmy, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You've been a heart and soul to this team for the last 5 years or so. This is us. This is what we doing.
And I give him credit because that's not normally what you want to do, is go public. But he's just like, dude, we're going to put a rest to this with all these rumors, innuendos, all these reports.
And I think what he's doing, too, is looking at Tyler Hero down the pipeline. You get what I mean? He's looking at Jaime Jaquez, like whoever may be, Bam Adebayo, like whoever might be next. I think that's what Pat was doing more so even than the Jimmy was saying, let me make it clear that we do what we want to do, not just based off an agent putting words out or a reporter putting stuff out there. So I think he was also making a claim to the rest of the team or a future free agent. Like, don't think you're going to come here running this thing. We have a way about us and the way we've been handling business.
Right, and most owners cave. And most of these guys, they give in.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the Nets a lot of credit when they didn't trade Kevin Durant. The first, remember when he had? No. We don't. There's not a deal good enough for us. Why are we going to do this? No.
You wanted to be here.
Right. You signed a deal. You took our money. We signed you
James.
when he was hurt, and he got paid for a year without playing. You remember that?
Yep.
He was coming off a major
coming off
injury
with the Warriors, yeah.
So,
talk about Jimmy Butler. Do you like the way Pat Riley, president of basketball there in Miami, handled the situation, saying Jimmy ain't going nowhere? 877-99 on Fox.
All right, let's go. Raphael in Cincinnati, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Merry Christmas, brother.
Brothers, Merry Christmas to you. Hey, check it out. Pat Riley, when he was in Lakerville, he couldn't let really loose because I don't think Riley's ever been a Hollywood type of guy. But, man, when he got to the Miami Heat, he started showing his old school tendencies. And I've never had a problem with Pat. I don't have a problem with what he put out to the public about Jimmy Butler because the men in my family, my father and grandfather on both sides, they were just like Pat Riley because there was not a whole lot of gray area, if any at all. But, man, cut straight to the chase. This is how it is. And it wasn't always going to be their way. It was going to be the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So Pat Riley in Miami, I just have admired that guy for so many years and the way he runs that tight ship there. And Jimmy Butler, he might as well just man up because Riley was right. We're not going to have all these distractions. And
right.
Jimmy might get traded. He's going to get traded. And who wants Jimmy Butler? Pat Riley said, look, we nipping this S in the bud right now. He ain't going no darn way.
Exactly. Well, become a free agent and then go bounce and then do what you want to do.
Or just have, these private, to me, do it privately. But, maybe Jimmy didn't see it that way.
Thanks,
clearly,
Raphael.
his agent who act like this ain't the case. But, all right, who we got?
Leo in New York City.
What's
You're
up,
on the
Leo?
Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Merry Christmas, Leo.
Merry Christmas, Rob. Hey, Ephraim. Salam alaikum, brother.
So I'm going to say it for him. Salam alaikum. Malaikum salam. Walaikum salam. I'm not Ephraim, but
Kelvin's
walaikum salam.
He expected Ephraim to be working
yeah,
a third day in a
see
row.
what happened? I take a day here off, and now you don't know how to act, Leo.
Day?
One day, Leo. Walaikum salam to you, too.
Salam.
Rob, this guy takes more days off than Chris Broussard.
Oh,
my!
What you know what? It's Christmas. I'm gonna let it
go,
ride.
Leo. There you go.
I'm gonna let it ride.
Leo.
I'm over here saying walaikum salam to you too. You know what? I take it back now. Peace. I'm taking my peace back, Leo.
Leo, I was on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
What up, though?
There we go. What up, though? There we go. All right, we're back now. We're good, Leo.
Okay, Rob, I disagree with you vehemently on this one. First of all, Pat Riley started shopping Jimmy because he didn't want to lose him for nothing in free agency. He started this whole thing. You shop the guy, now that the trade rumors are out, and he comes to you saying, I prefer these places, and the distractions out, now you're trying to nip it in the bud. No, you started this. Like, if you had not put him out there, dangled him for a trade for other people to come shop him, well, we wouldn't be here. Now that the whole thing backfired and the whole team is in disarray, he's coming back with slick hair.
If he wanted to trade him, he could trade him, Leo. What's stopping if he really wanted, like you're acting like
partners.
No,
he
but
doesn't have partners. He doesn't have a good trade. There's nobody's giving him any good trade. That's why Jimmy's still there. otherwise he would have traded Jimmy.
If you want to get rid of somebody, you could get a deal. Bradley Beal got traded from the Washington Wizards.
Rob. And we all
right?
know Pat Riley doesn't want to get fleeced. He doesn't want to get fleeced. That's all.
Jimmy Butler can go when the season's over. There's two teams. They got $40 million salary slot.
Come to Detroit.
He could go to the Nets. Or he could go to the Wizards. That's where Jimmy Butler
That's what
can
he's going to do. That's what he's going to do.
Go take the money from one of those two teams.
Ooh, he don't want to go to the Wizards, brother. Leo, thanks for the call, and it's on when I see you, Leo.
No problem. Leo, he called you.
He called me
Ephraim.
Yeah, he made me Muslim.
He done listened to the show for 2.5 hours and called you Ephraim.
Yeah, Leo. That's why I told you it's on, Leo, and I told you. I think he was just so excited.
He said you take more days off than Christmas.
Was Chris off like that, Rob G?